This is a plot in the middle of September 2011. I'll just take you through. That's the compost heap. It's about 5 foot tall at the moment and growing. That's my shed. I've just about finished all the exterior woodwork on it, apart from the other half of the door. And I am waiting for the roofer to come and just put some bitumen on it, or give me an estimate for it. That's it. I tried on roofing the shed back at home and made such a big deal of it, and then the roofer came to my rescue, and he did such a great job that I'm having him to do this. Inside there's a little window at the top which I've yet to fix, and there's 2 windows there that face south, and I hope to kit it out with shelves and things later on. That's the wood that's still there. I'm digging a pit for the 6th raised bed. I hope to deep dig it, put some plants and compost material down the bottom of the trench before the water table comes up in winter, and it'll be a really good deep trench. I hope to do one of these every year, and so increase the depth of the fertility of the soil, one every year. That's where the lettuce was. I'd hoped to plant some more lettuce, but I haven't got round to it because I've been doing my wonderful shed. This is my tomato plot, which I'd like to just show you. We've got Moneymaker, which has fairly big tomatoes, but they're still green. And we've got Alicante, which are smaller tomatoes. They're kind of cherry tomatoes, most of them, and we've had loads of them. And Gardener's Delight, which is all 3 of them are outdoor tomatoes, which we pick them when they're kind of orange, put them on the window ledge, and in a day they've all turned to red. That's the lot that I've been picking today. So far we've had about half of that every day for about 3 or 4 weeks, and it's coming into the middle of the season now, so we're snowed under with tomatoes. We wondered what to do with them, but they're really delicious just to eat. So even the orange ones have a kind of sweetness about them that's really nice. And the only way of storing, the best way of storing them, I think, is to just pop them into the freezer whole, just as they are. They freeze up, and then whenever you want them, you can take them out and use them in stews and cooking once they've defrosted. Several of them have got attacked by slugs and woodlice, but we don't mind that because we've got loads of them. That's the plot that I had the beans on last month. We had a fantastic crop of runner beans, but then the weather forecast said it'll get very windy, so I pulled them all up. It was right at the end of the season anyway, but we had a huge crop. That's the mints, which I haven't really looked after that well. I'll have to pay them a little bit more attention. We've got Oregon, we've got thyme, we've got sage, rosemary, 3 types of mint. I'll have to pay them a bit of attention. They're looking a bit scrabbled. We have one or two really nice Savoy cabbages, but I haven't really got round to cooking them. And my wife seems to like Tesco's more than mine at the moment, as far as cabbages is concerned. The plum trees looking happy. The pear trees looking reasonable, not that happy. The strawberries underneath are sending runners out like mad, and I'm hoping to propagate them and double or treble their size by next year, hoping to take most of the spent mushroom compost out of that bed and replace it with soil. The raspberries, we've had a huge crop of raspberries again, very pleased. The early ones are very high, so I've pegged those up in with canes, and the mid-season ones are okay, but the Bryce ones crop twice. Once they're very early, they're meant to be late raspberries, but they crop twice. One early, they're one of the earliest, and then they crop the second time late. We've had them in October last year. What I do is I put 3 sets of wires right along, and then pull the actual raspberries out towards the wires. This has 2 effects. One is that it allows next year's raspberries to grow up in the middle, so that you know which are next year's and which are last year's. When these are cropped next year, I'll be cutting them all down once they've given us the fruit, and then I'll be moving the new canes to the wires and tying them up like that. This not only allows you to know which is the old and the new canes, but it also brings the fruit to the outside, so that you don't have to feel around in the jungle of leaves for any fruit, and you often miss a huge number of raspberries just because they're hidden so well in the jungle. I've had a huge crop of rhubarb, some of which are bottled, and it's turning out quite nice, and I'm leaving these to die back, to feed the roots a little bit. As you can see, the slugs have really had a go at that, but I don't mind that much because they've had a good crop. These are some of the strawberries that were in the future raspberry pit. Now, as you may have heard on earlier videos, that the raspberries that I planted, because they were in spent mushroom compost, they all died. So I'm going to take the spent mushroom compost out, put it in the pit I've been digging, and replace that largely with soil. That's the coal frame with the dead lettuce that I'd hoped to plant but didn't get round to it. I'll be emptying that out and cleaning it up a bit. That's my junk pit where I keep all the these bins that I got from B&Q have been excellent while I haven't had a shed. I've stored a huge amount in it, and they've kept the rain out and everything's fine. These are the IBC containers that I hope to have a roof over there and take the water into the IBC containers. Move one of these up to the shed to take the water off the shed, and I've promised one of these to a neighbour who one of these to Terry, who's over there, and he take some of the water off the plot when it starts to flood in winter. That's the wishing well. It's got lots of flies. Oh, it's got some little plant things in it. I don't know where they came from, but they're there. That's my fairy glen. Last month I found a little fairy in the middle of that. I don't know what she's doing there, but there it is. Fairies aren't real, by the way, they're only pretend, but it is a fantasy garden that I hope to sort out in winter. To have a windmill and actually put a wishing well on top of that. That's the place where I hope to have a greenhouse sometime in the future. And that's it. That's my good old plot in the middle of September 2011. Ta-da!